Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chaos 120 tonight. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and we have a whole bunch of special news for you guys tonight. And of course, our panel tonight includes the next 6 minutes.
Good evening, everybody.
The lovely Tara Sin, of course. We have Kaz Warfox with us tonight.
Yef, you motherfucking faggots. Grab me some of that pretty booty.
And of course, Burnside is currently making his rounds, so he'll probably join us in a few minutes. We should also have Scoob and Irate joining us a little later. But we do have something very special for you guys. I went downtown this morning at about 7:30 a.m. and I took some limited video footage of the Antifa camp outside of the ICE headquarters. And I'm going to start referring to these guys as Antifa from here on out and not just protesters. And the reason being is because at least 30% of the protesters I saw were wearing bandanas across their face with military-style gear, and they had the Antifa flag flying from their palisades. And you'll see what I mean by palisades here in just a minute. So I'm going to start this screen share. Let's see, where is it? Shoot. Apparently, I've got too many windows open.
That's how you catch a cold.
Six, you sound tired.
I am
You
tired.
do, man.
This week kicked the crap out of me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're about to .exe out of life right now.
It feels like life /dotted me.
Really? Man, that sucks. Okay, for some reason, it's not letting me screen share this. Let me see if I can actually... Huh. I do not know why it is not letting me screen share this. That is really weird. Give me a second here. Let me see what I can come up with for you guys. So what else have we got, though, for tonight?
I cooked fried pork chops, gravy, rice, and green beans.
Sounds good, Tara. What's with all the great cooking so far? Why'd you start cooking all good?
Well, I always cook good, thank you very much. But it's just, I don't like the way my roommate cooks, so I figure I'll cook myself.
Yeah. Never rely on others for the things that are tasty.
I'll do a quick screen share since he's doing that, so you can see what I cooked.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Here's the gravy. The pork chops are already in the gravy. The green beans. And of course the pork chops outside of the gravy.
Pretty nice.
All right, so I'm for some reason not able to share this, but I do have this in my Google Drive, so I'm going to post it to the chat here. And then I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys in the Hangouts here. But everybody see this. Now be careful, there is a lot of wind in the background. The reason being is the wind was up very heavy And this was in downtown where we've got wind tunnels because of the streets. So Portland isn't quite the windy city, but it's getting pretty bad.
So we should hold on to our hats, in other words.
Yeah, yeah. Now you will get a chance to see the front of the Palisade here. This is the front side. And it's pretty bizarre stuff.
Okay, there's the sign there, abolish ICE right there.
Yep.
Destroy capitalism.
Yep.
Before it destroys the planet. Oh my god, these people are delusional.
Oh yeah. Just wait, Kaz. There's some others in there that you'll laugh at as well.
I return. What did I miss?
Well, I just shared the link in the chat there, man. So you can take a look at the video.
Do you think
He's
it might
on
be
his
alright?
phone. He can't see it, so I'll send it to him on Discord.
Do you think
I've
it might
already
be
sent it.
alright if I present the film?
If you can present it, go ahead, man.
Okay, let me give it a shot. I'll just show straight. Hold on. I'll give it a shot. Let's see. Screen share. That would be cool. Okay.
Yeah, it was. There we go.
You can see it, right? It's clear, everything.
Yeah, I just presented you to everyone.
All right, good.
Go ahead.
You see the guy walking there?
Yep.
It says,
Abolish something or other.
Abolish ICE.
look at that. It's of course it's in rainbow colors because we gotta attach LGBT to absolutely fucking everything.
Well, and if you
Yeah.
look up above the abolish ICE, you'll see that there's a couple of communist flags and the Antifa flag there.
Yeah, right there.
And then
There's-
destroy capitalism.
Is that pansexual flag?
That's the pansexual flag.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for Christ's sake. They have to have a fucking flag for every type of perversion.
Destroy capitalism before it destroys
Well,
the planet.
there's actually a reason for that, and that's because a lot of the gays, lesbians, and bisexuals were trashing trans people, even though LGBT means, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, because they felt that they weren't really gay.
Jesus.
Well, oh fucking well.
There you go. Camp
They don't
consensus, passive resistance, abolish ICE again.
And the Antifa
Oh,
flag,
yeah.
right? The old
Yep.
fashioned.
Veteran.
That looks
The
like the
only
European one too. Come to think of it.
It is. What was that, 6?
The only thing these guys seem to have abolished was testosterone.
And deodorant. There was a pretty foul smell in the air with the breeze.
It is also probably the fact that they're just using porta potties and nothing else.
I don't even know that they had porta potties, Tara. I didn't see any when I went past the camp.
Well, then
There
what
you
they
can
may
see some-
have is bedside commodes.
Yep.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, this guy looks like he's
That's
Like a real like Sergey or Sergey.
that's a tall drink of soy latte there.
Yep.
he looks like he's like about to challenge you to a Pokemon match.
Yeah, now see this guy right here? See that short guy right there? He's got a radio on him. Now, shortly after I panned past him and panned back, he had called in 4 other guys, all of them wearing masks, that had come out from inside the camp. And they were all pointing directly at me. And at that point, I went ahead and allowed discretion to be the better part of valor and went back around the corner to where I had parked.
Another abolish ICE. It's just everywhere.
Now, here's what's really screwed up. See, this parking lot that they are occupying is a joint parking lot. Right there to your left of that excessive supplies sign is a school.
School.
Yeah,
Wait a
and
minute, does that say no pasaran? These
Yep.
fucking retards are not the CNT or the fucking Phi, goddamn retards.
No, they'd love to be though.
King Francisco Franco. I need to give these retards a fucking history lesson.
well, these people don't know anything about history, man.
All too kind as far as the fucking homos and shit. He thought they were a bit strange. For fuck's sake.
But yeah, so they took over this parking lot between the school. Yeah, see, you can see there.
Yeah, looks like they're propaganda leaflets and such.
Migration is a human right. No, it's not.
Oh no, you have the right to migrate
to
any place that will allow you to come.
Not in the way that they're talking about it, though.
Yeah, what they're talking about is you have the right to go wherever the fuck you decide. What anybody there says about it. And that's not the way it works.
Just shuts off the radio after just before you ended the video. Look at that.
You know what? These guys are fucking stupid. You're about as dumb as the last batch of guys I ran into on May 1st. Because they didn't even know that Catalonia, in technicality, wound up getting their independence. You know, they just use propaganda slogans and stuff. They know nothing of where they come from. No pasaran, basically it means none shall pass. And that's what CNT and the Phi and even, I believe, the UMP and some of the other little militia worker unions that want to be in, like, the anarchist fronts want to be using. Because what they'd essentially do is they basically told, you know, as far as, you know, the communists, Franco's soldiers, the monarchists and what have you, that no, you're not going to come over here. No one will pass Catalonia. You know, that's where it came from. You know, the Catalonia was the heartland for where the whole lot of them were coming from. And when they wound up getting heavy resistance because everyone fucking hated them, you know, more or less, they basically say, you know, none shall pass, none shall pass. You know, it's just kind of like their version of hold the line.
Yeah, the shit's just it's funny because of the fact that you see the shit. See American Celt. I'm getting tired of seeing rainbow shit everywhere. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have no idea. Some of the taxi cab companies in Portland have started doing rainbow taxis and shit. I mean, it's gotten beyond the pale. Yeah. I can't even go to a kink club without the rainbow flag being present, and I'm like, seriously, what does that have to do?
Yeah, years ago, I told my fucking sister and practically everyone else that was, you know, into the whole Gay Rights Incorporated thing, as I call it now, that, you know, if they weren't fucking careful, just like Anonymous and everybody else, these commutards, we're going to use them as a proverbial meat field, infiltrate them, and break them down and turn them into pawns. And here you go. That's what they fucking did. Nobody wants to listen to me, though. Dumb motherfuckers expect me to do all the goddamn work for them. No. I'm not going to stick up to 2-bit sodomites that can't hold their own fucking camp together. You know, my time is precious as is. You know, I've got my own fucking small group of people that I've got to hold together. I've got diplomacies I've got to work out. I'm not expending any additional time on a bunch of ungrateful sodomites, you know, that want to be willing pawns to these fucking commutards. Because that's really all they are. They don't give a shit about history. They don't give a shit about their actual genuine rights. You want to give them artificial rights and march them to their fucking death. You know, just like the fucking Soviet Union did with all their goddamn conscripts. Because none of these guys have any actual hardened fucking training whatsoever. I'm actually a little surprised that they're actually putting brain power into this little encampment they have.
Well, I don't know how much brain power they're doing, man, because these palisades are pretty flimsy. I mean, they're better than nothing. Here, I'm going to...
Yeah, they're better than nothing, but it's better than what I've mostly seen them do.
Maybe this is just me because I was in the Boy Scouts, and as a kid, when I was a kid, I've grown to be fairly experienced with making a camp. When I saw that shit, I'm like, wow. That is some of the worst poorly put together camps I've ever saw. Like, holy shit.
It really is. It really is, Kaz. It really is. Here, I have got an image of one of the palisades here without all the crap on it. And I'm presenting to everyone right now. Here we go.
Can you zoom in at all?
I can't zoom in, unfortunately, because the way I'm handling this was through the freaking stupid Google stuff.
Try hitting Control Plus a few times.
Here we go. Let's try that. Oh wait. Yeah, it's not zooming the image. It's just zooming the background there.
Okay. I think I can see it fine I can see it fine nonetheless, and from what I can see, yeah, the holy shit, look at that.
I mean, it's literally like 2x2s with tarpaulin and mesh chicken fencing. It's Palisades, but here's another section here. Then there's the ice building,
which I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them at, of course.
Now, here's something I found really funny. Please don't honk after 10 p.m.
Wow.
Was that when they're sleeping?
I guess the Antifa are sleeping at that point. Now, here's more of their front. And you can see how it bows out into the sidewalks here. And yes, Portland has these giant frickin' sidewalks that they spend all their frickin' money on. Now, here's one I really didn't understand. Multnomah Camp. How is this Multnomah Camp? Well, this is in Multnomah County, which is what most of downtown Portland is in.
Mm.
I don't understand how this is Multnomah Camp because I passed at least 4 abominations before I got there.
I don't know. Maybe no one wrote or no one looked up a map.
Probably put to get not picket line, Palisade.
Now, see, there's that guy with the radio again. You can see as I was taking the initial pictures, he was talking with people. So I only got a limited amount of time. Here's one of the Antifa guys with his face shield on and his BDU pants and his hoodie. Probably missing his soy latte for the morning.
Probably. Oh, the rainbows.
Yeah.
All the rainbows. Oh, my God.
And all the commie.
What infuriates me about these stupid people is they are completely clueless and they're just propagandized pawns. All this little crap they're doing, all the, fucking gay rights incorporated and then some bullshit. All the fucking radical this and radical that. All they're doing is they're taking the young, the stupid, the impressionable, and they're turning them into a new disposable front line. That's all they're fucking doing.
Well, yeah, that is what they're doing, man, and it's something that they've been doing for years. It has to do with the propaganda they keep spreading.
Yeah, that's why they're allied with RevCom. That's how RevCom's got their numbers. Is they propagandize and propagandize and propagandize. That's all they fucking focus on.
Yeah.
That's why the DNC is backing them. Because that's the only way they get anything done is they literally use 1984 as a template and say, all right, let's get this motherfucker done. And that's why, they decided that they're going to go and take over the anarchist sect, is because, as ironic as it is, when George Orwell wrote 1984, he wound up being on the opposite side of the Spanish Civil War and felt guilty for killing them because he went, because he realized when he came home, oh shit, everything that I thought was right was wrong. He didn't realize that his government was literally sending him either to his death or to be the bad guy, because he was just an OSS operative. So it's like, all right, intelligence and what have you. And the next thing you know, they embed him with the NCOMs in them and what have you. And then, I could go for days on this. It just pisses me off.
Hey guys,
fucking stupid.
I am fading fast here, so I'm playing jump out here. But it was good seeing you all tonight, and I wish you all a great stream.
Well, thanks for coming out, Six, and I'm glad you got to see the face of Portland Antifa. I had been promising you guys some Antifa footage for a while once I got it, and I was actually able to get some today, so I'm glad I could.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Well, I might
the
try to
story is quite strong with these people.
I might try to see about coming up to one of the office buildings that overlooks Macadam in this parking lot tomorrow and see about doing some recording from above into their camp so that you guys can see what's going on in there.
Awesome.
But that's going to really depend on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And Six, thank you again for covering for Burnside tomorrow night.
Yeah. Thanks a
Alrighty.
lot, Six. See you later, man.
See you guys
You
then.
get 6.
Yeah, I just find this really funny. It's just that you're sitting there doing your thing, and this guy's like, "I'm gonna call in a bunch of faggots to go after you." That's funny.
And the thing is Antifa knows that the mayor's not going to do jack shit.
I think I don't doubt that, all things considering. And the mayor's like, nah, I'm okay with Antifa over here so long as it gives me more political power point. Nah.
Yeah, to be fair, Mayor Wheeler, I do not understand why he is not having these people arrested for occupying public property illegally. Of course, then again, he supported the previous Occupy movement, so there's not a whole lot, I guess, we can do about it except try to get rid of Mayor Wheeler. But Mayor Wheeler isn't going anywhere as long as Multnomah County is in control of Portland.
Yeah.
And they are right now, so... In fact, it's kind of funny. I'm thinking they bust some of the homeless from Multnomah County to Washington County to turn in ballots.
Mountain Man, someone in the chat is asking if they can call in.
I don't have a call-in system currently set up. We could probably bring them in if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Are you sure if you know who the person is?
I have no clue who it is. It's someone I don't recall seeing before, or Slacker 614.
I know Slacker 614. He follows my channel. He's been following me off and on for a little bit. I'm having the other person PM me on Discord, and I'll talk with him real quick. If I'm okay with it, I'll bring him on in. But yeah, this is some of what's going on in Portland, and these people obviously are not wanting to just, fix the issue about the kids being separated from their parents, or the issue with people running the border illegally with children and trying to skirt the law. These people want open borders entirely, no way to manage the borders, which is why they're pushing to dissolve ICE. And that's a very, very dangerous concept that they're pushing.
Base Spider-Man.
What?
That's Ryoga's name on Discord, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the guy you're talking to says he is based Spider-Man.
Instead of saying, they call me Mr. Tibbs.
There's a video that he has of 44,000 says my experience at the Battle of Berkeley. Send you a link to it right now. Hey, Scoob.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Scoob, how you doing?
All right. Was a little bit late today because tomorrow's my wife's birthday, so we're running around getting a few things.
Not a problem. Hey, Scoob, if you see that link in the side chat there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's to the footage from Antifa this morning.
Oh, goody. Let me check this out. All right. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, Cass. Let's see, what do we got here?
So the individual who wants to get in here is named Based Spider-Man, and apparently he was at the Battle of Berkeley.
Yeah, he.
Be right back.
Yeah, he does have a YouTube channel here. Let me go ahead and see what I can come up with on that. Yeah, so Scoob, it's very windy in that footage because I was not able to get into a spot where I was in the lee, but you can actually see the signs on the palisades they've got there, and those are actually palisades that they constructed. They're pretty slipshod, but they are there.
Okay.
I'm having trouble finding this guy. I see him.
See here. So this black kid with the what is that? He has a. Is that like a? He's got his sinuses pierced. I don't even know what the hell type of piercing that is.
Yeah, that's a Devian piercing with a septum piercing as well. Yeah, I know.
Oh, what? He does have the septum? I didn't see the septum.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
Do you have this guy in Discord?
No, I'm about to add him right now. I'm looking for him.
It's.
I was trying to make sure everything matched up.
You do see where they say that what their name is on Discord, right? It says I am Royga Vee on Discord, all one word.
Okay, so what's the number of that?
No clue.
Yeah, you gotta remember Discord requires you have your tag number there too, so people can find you.
Yeah.
Confirm it's you.
Is this guy a good guy or is he an SJW?
Not sure. We're trying to find out.
The tag number is hashtag 2.
I saw it.
9.
Yeah. I'm not getting anything, guys. Are you?
Let's see here. Well, unless he's a troll, it looks like he's actually on the side of free speech.
Have you got him?
I'm working on it.
Because for some reason he's not pulling up on mine. If you guys are okay with letting him come in, I am okay with it. I'm willing to take on just about anyone any time of the day. So, and I'm feeling a little froggy today.
Any idea what channels he would be in Discord?
I have no clue, man. I'm looking right now. See if I've got him on any. See if he's in any of the channels I'm in normally. You know, he could be on.
See.
I'm not finding it either. And I've copy and pasted.
Yeah, no, that's the problem I'm having here.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I looked. No dice. Can't find the guy. Oh well. We tried. Now, we're being disingenuous. We did give him a little bit of airtime too that we committed to the search. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Royga. We can't seem to get you through Discord. If you can ping me, I'll go ahead and put my my tag in the.
Let's see.
You can ping me. I'll go ahead and send you the link, and we can go ahead and let's chat for a few with us. But I can't seem to find you, so unfortunately. But yes, Scoob, these guys actually, I was standing there doing the initial videoing, and as I was doing it, you can see that guy on the radio there. He called about 5 or 6 others from inside the camp, and they all came out. And as I was sawing them starting to gather next to him and point at me, I turned off my cell phone, and I beat feet back over to where I was parked because I was standing literally across the street from them. And that's a walk at will intersection. We have a lot of them in downtown Portland. And that means that basically you can just cross that street without a signal. Literally. So it makes me twitchy to be standing there and then to see them mustering in strength when I'm standing there by myself. And I mean, WGN was right across the street on the other side with me, but they had their stuff pointed at the camp and at the ice building. And I guarantee you, if those guys had come over and decided to start something, they would not have tried to film them. Unless, of course, I had to throw several of them a beating and then I was standing over them bloody. And at which point, then they'd have footage of me beating them down, you know. And that's the last thing I need.
Fucking punks.
No, they think they're punks, man. They ain't punks. Because I'm punk. Those guys ain't punk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
All right, I found him on Gab here, I think.
Yeah, I just threw you that link. Unless I don't know that. How common is that name, Royga Vee?
I do not know.
You know, I'm looking at this video that you posted up here with these halfwits, and it looks almost like a flea market.
Well, that's basically it's a tent city, man. They use some 2x2s to stand up some chicken mesh, and they strap tarpaulin to it and plywood. And yeah, that's what they did to build their little palisades there. I mean, they've got them all the way around the encampment. Tried to obscure what they're doing. I didn't see any porta-john or any bathroom facilities out there, so I'm assuming they're using, you know, camp toilets, basically.
Yeah. I seen what you were talking about, how the one guy in the hoodie was starting to glare at you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean...
Not gonna lie, if I was with you, we probably would have got into a brawl because I would have probably hit him for looking at me like that.
I get what you're saying, man. And honestly, if I had 2 or 3 people with me, I wouldn't have cared that they masked up on the other side. But I was standing there by myself, and I went downtown without my gun on me.
Because I didn't want you were outnumbered and outgunned for the time being, so it was your best option for the time being.
I think I found this guy's Twitter.
Oh,
so cool. You found cool.
Yes, he's also just confirmed he has a Gab account too.
Okay, so that is his Gab account. I can go ahead and ping him the Gab directly then.
All right, cool. Yeah, as soon as I get my computer back, or as soon as I can get to one, yeah. I'd love to harass the shit out of this Jagoff for the no passaran, just on that merit alone, because that pisses me off to all fucking high heaven.
Who?
If you're saying you got the Twitter of this Jagoff who was glaring at Mountain Man, right?
No, not him.
No, we're talking about the guy who wants to get in here.
Oh, sorry. Well,
Pay attention more, baby. Pay attention.
well, I can't while I'm on the can.
That's usually when I do my best concentrating.
I had my rounds and I had to go.
Yeah, so Slacker has offered to come down with me tomorrow or Thursday to do some videoing. So I have a little bit of backup there.
I'm not that jag-off.
Hey, what up,
Okay,
man?
cool.
That's fucking dog. Unbelievable.
How's it going, dude?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Most excellent.
Yeah, so fill us in. What have you got to say, man?
Oh, so I just randomly stumbled on this on your YouTube channel. I was actually looking at more recent Antifa videos from the riot the last couple days, and this one was live. So I was like, "Oh, you guys are talking about good shit." So fuck it.
Oh yeah, I was literally standing on McAdam. That video that I linked into the channel there. I was recording that on my cell phone this morning at about 7:30 a.m.
Awesome.
Because I live about 15 minutes from where the protest is going on.
Okay, so I heard you guys trying to confirm on who I was, so I'm not going to try to toot my horn, but I am going to verify who I am.
Okay.
Sure.
So my name's Royga Vee. The internet the Patriot community calls me Base Spider-Man. After my ventures at the Battle of Berkeley, both during the Milo riots and the March 4th and the March 17th and the April 27th. I was there at the larger riot in Berkeley on December 27th.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Dude, man, you've been sticking your neck out a lot.
Sticking my neck out for the righteous cause, I believe.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with you, man. I mean, that's why I went down to McAdam Street this morning on my own. I didn't have anybody to go with me, so I went down and I took what I could.
I'll tell you this much. What I've learned about Antifa over the past couple months is these guys are pussies. I mean, they are absolute pussies. I have yet to see any of them fight one-on-one, and when they do, they get fucking handled. They're absolute cowards. Even when they have numbers. So I was there at the March 4th event in Berkeley, and they had about that afternoon, probably like 300 of them in masks, Antifa'd up, and it only took 12 of us to send their asses packing. 12.
Nice.
And that's where Kyle Chapman, Base Stickman, was there. That's when I met
nice.
Even though I kind of think he's a shithead now, but that's when I met Baked Alaska for the first time. That's when Spartan Man was there, even though he's got a little crazy over the past couple months. But
man.
Hey,
I myself was just flipping desks here a few minutes ago.
To be fair, people think I'm strange. I was down there in a kilt, videotaping Antifa.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
In Berkeley or Portland?
In Portland, man.
Okay. No, and by the way, and I know Joey very well. In fact, I was scheduled to speak with Joey in San Francisco before we had to cancel that rally at Golden Gate Park. Excuse me, Chrissy Field. That's where it was. I was with Joey when he got pepper sprayed and maced. In fact, after that happened, when we lost sight of him, me, Black Rebel, Ashton, and some other people, we kind of got chased out the city, and we had to get extracted out by Oath Keepers.
Dude.
But see, that was before I knew. I mean, so on the 27th, there were 600 of them. And they brought knives and sticks and chains, and they were throwing explosives into the crowd, and they were throwing. They had water bottles with shit and piss inside of them, and that's just nasty. But every time I see them get handled, it makes me that much more bolden to face them one-on-one in the street. Like I keep saying, and while I don't think we're gonna have another incident like that in San Francisco, even though we did kind of have a small thing. So the last time I saw them, Joey Gibson came back to San Francisco, and we did a march. Wait, no, Joey didn't come. Tiny came. Wait, did Joey come? I can't remember. But we did a march for Kate Steinle.
Yeah. I heard about the march for Kate Steinle.
Yeah, and I had to put a dude in a chokehold.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch Very Fake News, that channel.
I have. I did
Okay,
watch
so-
it for that.
So I'm in a lot of his videos. So the Kate Steinle one, like, that's when one dude took a sucker punch at one of our guys. I had him in the chokehold. The cops beat the shit out of him. He got arrested. It was just, fucking cowards and dumb leftist bullshit, And what really upsets me is, we can fight in the streets all day, every day, and nothing is accomplished by that. And I understand on both sides. There's a lot of hot-headed people, and they just want to get the aggression out. And if two men want to go at it, then so be it. That's fine. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah,
what I
that's
do
why
have a problem with.
That's why we've got wrestling. That's why we've got all sorts of sponsored events you can have for charity and shit. If people really want to fight it out.
Right.
Veteran Mountain Man versus Antifas. I don't think so, man. I ain't that young anymore.
but one thing I want to say is we have to be careful on the optics, because I see Antifa is always going to be Antifa, and I even saw, I don't know if it was the New Yorker or what publication it was saying that far right group Patriot Prayer rally declared a riot when due to confrontations with protesters. So they initially in the headline they label Patriot Prayer as a far right organization. So there was already bias there, and they don't label Antifa by name. They just say like, oh, they had conversations with protesters.
Yeah.
So when and the most popular video right now is that guy getting fucking tree trunked.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw another publication that posted a video of the fight, but they didn't post 2 seconds before that where they threw an explosive into the center of the crowd.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I was a little nervous when I was down there and it was just me. Because I'm standing there in my kilt and my shoes. I don't even have my steel toes on because I was in the middle of driving for the day. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm 4 blocks from McAdam. Let's go take a look at these guys, see what's actually going on, because the PDX News is not reporting this accurately. We're seeing people, sitting outside the door, trying to keep the ice office shut. They're talking about open borders and protecting families.
Right.
And then I get down there and I see basically Occupy Village.
Right.
And I'm seeing built up palisades and shit. And I'm like, this isn't peaceful protest. This is prepping for riot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then 5 or 6 of them come out and start pointing at me, and I'm like, whoa, I'm not geared for this. Let me back off.
Yeah.
Well, Joey, I believe I wouldn't have done it, but I believe Joey had the right idea in Berkeley, where he put his hands up and he got maced in the face and he got beat with sticks. And the optics that night, as the video went through the blogosphere, and he went on Tucker Carlson later that evening, was showing him being nonviolent with his hands up, getting the shit kicked out of him. So no one can say that he started it. No one can say that he was the aggressor, or even that he defended himself. He took the, dare I say, the Martin Luther King route and got his ass kicked for the cause. And then the following day, all the headlines, even the far left headlines or publications, that week leading up to the November 27th was like, Nazis are coming to San Francisco. Far right agitators are coming to San Francisco. White nationalists are coming to San Francisco. And then when they actually found out who were speaking at the event, myself, I'm black. Joey Gibson's Japanese. Tiny Samoan. Will Johnson was going to speak. He's black. Amber Cummings, she's a trans woman. We had another gay person who was speaking. So all the people speaking at this event are people that traditionally you would consider marginalized people, minorities, etc. And the people that you would think that left-wing extremists would support and want to protect. So they say, but they don't. In fact, they don't give a fuck about minorities. All they give a fuck about is pushing their own agendas.
Oh, geez.
And you'll see how the left eats them. The left eats their own all the time.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious to me. Who was it today? She used to date Johnny Depp. Amber Heard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that comment she made about that ICE was coming in LA, and that everyone should drive their housekeepers and their gardeners back home so they don't get picked up by ICE. And I'm like, wait, so you're saying that only Mexicans are housekeepers and gardeners? Is that what you're trying to say? Got him. Got him.
You know, let me tell you a little something. I live in New York, and my wife's family are
I would have
like
never guessed.
Yeah, my wife. Yeah, my wife's family are basically all like actual like party Democrats. They're all members of the Young Democratic Committee, and they probably are the most disgusting people that you'll ever meet in your life. And I sat there and I listened to them speak, and I'm paraphrasing them, but this is basically what the gist of their conversation was. They believe in things like white guilt and white privilege because they honestly feel that the reason that they're trying to give away the farm, as it were, to everybody that is not white is they feel that no matter what they do for all these other people, they're always going to do better anyway because they're white. So they literally have to give them this leg up. It's the most condescending outlook I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh yeah, we'll give them everything because, you know, look at them, they're not white. And I'm sitting here listening to this like, my God, you people are disgusting.
Well, these are the white liberals that Malcolm X told us to be fearful of. This is the antithesis of the white liberals that Malcolm X warned us about. And you know, being black myself and living in predominant, you know, black communities my entire life, we see right through it. We really do. The problem is they're starting to get the attention of young people.
Yes.
A lot of youngins.
Young people are starting to buy into the anti-white agenda. And let me say, like, white people have their issues. I mean, I say anti-white shit from time to time. It's more out of frustration. Some of it's valid, some of it's not. I don't hate white people. I don't wish ill on white people. But sometimes I'll say shit like, every now and then I'll say fuck white people or stupid white people. You know, and yes, as a hypocrite, I'll say as a hypocrite myself, I would be upset if somebody said that in my presence about black people. But I try not to say it to people's faces, and I try not to say that online.
Good God, you sound like a human being.
Yes, because I'm above that.
Straight to the punches. Yeah,
I'm absolutely above that shit.
Like the other.
You know, man, you better be careful because, you know, hanging out with Burnside, Scoob, and I, and Cass, you know, our resident furry from California, you might get branded an Uncle Tom neo-Nazi or something.
I get all the time. P.S. I used to go to Further Confusion in Santa Clara. In fact, I went 5 years in a row to Further Confusion.
Oh man.
That y'all some fucked up people, man. Y'all furries, man. Like when I talk about crazy white people, I'm talking about the furries, y'all.
Hey, to be fair, man, I'm part of the pirate community in Oregon.
Okay.
That means we all get together and dress up like pirates and party like it's 1699.
And certain things tend to occur. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, rub, rub.
Yeah. The word is debauchery. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know, if you ain't into any freaky shit, you meet the only vanilla people in the stream, because everyone in the stream is a weirdo.
Oh yeah.
No, the key word is blue ribbon.
Oh gosh, Tara, you're not allowed to put a blue ribbon on it. There's a line for that.
I don't care. I will jump ahead of the line. Lift up your kilt, put a blue ribbon on it, and look at you, smile, and leave.
Oh, actually, yo, Royga, just to let you know, this perverted conversation they're having, it's actually in regards to the mother of all rallies down in D.C.
Oh, yeah. I didn't go to that.
We're going to the other one. We went to this one. Me and Burnside went to the one last September. We're going to the to the second one this September.
Yeah, I was invited to it. I just didn't want to spend that kind of money to go out there and not really know a lot of people. It's just too much effort. You know.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to DC. I'd never been out of I've been out of New York, but never stayed in another city like that. So I figured, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went last year, and we've got plans to go this year. We've got we're trying to get about 10 people roughly, because I've been talking with Tommy and his girlfriend. They're organizing the whole thing, and they've got some group rates for hotel rooms and such. So I'm trying to get around 10 people so I can get a decent rate that it won't be as expensive. Because for the time being, I've got Tara, Scoob, myself, our buddy Diogenes, his old lady, our buddy Ajax and his old lady, and our resident Protestant bartender. And that's what we've got about.
And hopefully we'll be getting my brother.
Yeah, hopefully her brother.
Yeah, my brother is the atheist Republican. I am the pagan Democratic liberal.
Yeah, we're a bit of an eclectic mix.
Yeah, we're all sorts of weird and fucking confusing. Like I'm a right-wing anarchist. They call it free market anarchist or a libertarian anarchist.
Yeah, and I'm a progressive liberal for Trump.
Yep. Also a Trump voter. I quite literally, when I was on stage last year trying to give my speech, I had Lacey McCauley calling me a fake anarchist as she tried to get up on stage to eat my liver.
Yeah, it was cool. Made it on C-SPAN.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely lovely. I was like, that's all fine. It's all right. You know, I can talk to you after you get done with the speech. And it just, holy shit. You know, Tommy was like, come on, we gotta go. She's starting to write. And I'm like, shit. God, America, I'll talk to you guys next year. They just her off stage. I'm just trying to like intercept, still trying to fuse everything. I'm like, shit. And the cops like literally line up. They're like, dude, we got this. Don't go any further. You don't want to know what's going on. And I was like, okay.
Only this year I'm going to be there to beat her with a giant rose.
Oh yeah.
She might like that, Tara. You better be careful.
Yeah, not where I'm going to shove it.
We
might actually have Antifa show up this year, though. They were there last year, but it was like their junior squad or whatever.
Yeah, those probably just recon, if anything.
Well,
because that was the first year they did more.
So let's look at one thing. So things have changed a little bit. So I would say after the beginning of this year, like I know Portland's always going to be a hotbed for Antifa activity, but I felt things were dying down a little bit. I feel like the Portland Police Department really has it down on how to deal with that, and the only time fights happen is when they want them to. Because in videos in the past, I've seen like Portland PD don't fuck around.
Well,
now
when they're allowed to, man, yeah, they can seriously knock an idiot on his butt and put him down.
Right.
The problem is the mayor has specifically handed over control of the Portland PD now to this chick Outlaw, and she has basically issued stand down orders on all these protests.
Yeah, it happens, you know, and we're still gonna see shit like so you know that guy got tree trunked, but it's gonna get worse if this continues. But what I'm getting at is, so Maxine Waters makes her comments about, you know, anytime she sees someone in the Trump administration, harass them, you know, wherever they are, and basically what I think what America interpreted that as, if you see someone who voted for Trump or is a conservative, harass them in the streets or beat their ass.
Yeah,
so
that's essentially what she's greenlighting. She's trying to ferment a violent revolution.
Absolutely, but see, it's not. So all this really is doing is pushing people on the left further to the center. And when you push people towards the center, you eventually push them to the right.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So we are going to see more incidents where Republicans aren't allowed, you know, are kicked out of restaurants just because. I mean, we've seen a couple incidents where someone wore a MAGA hat and they got kicked out of a restaurant. But when Maxine Waters calls for it, it's only a matter of time. And in fact, I'm willing to say that in the next 3 weeks of time, we're going to see another serious incident where it's going to be someone who isn't part of a rally, who isn't part of a demonstration, just somebody minding their own business, and they're going to get fucked up, and it's going to, you know, end up in the news. Now, right now, the Democratic Party has absolutely zero message for the next election. All they keep talking about is impeachment, They keep talking about anti-Trump. No one's talking about a message. No one's going to talk about what they're going to do for the economy, what they're going to do for jobs, what they're going to do for homeless. No.
Actually, I've been hearing about that up here. There is some message up here in the Pacific Northwest, but it's mostly we're going to raise your taxes to take back the tax cuts. We're going to create new taxes to deal with the homeless. And we're going to tax the roads to do more bike paths.
Now tell me, what part of our citizenship has disposable income?
None right now.
The middle class.
Nope. Our middle class doesn't even have it right now.
Well, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase disposable income. Who could they tax?
The middle class.
Right. They're not going to tax the rich. There's rich people always have a way of getting out of paying taxes. You know, it's in the books. But they're going to tax the middle class. So if you got someone who is making it's going to sound weird, but you know, here in California, a modest amount of money, and when I say modest, that could be anywhere between $85,000 to like $120,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just enough for you to have a half-assed decent house, or at least rent a home. You, your wife, and your 2 kids, and that's scraping by. That's scraping by.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm aware.
They're going to pull money from that department, or people who are already struggling to make a car note, make a mortgage, or pay rent, put their kids through school, daycare. They want to take money from those people so they can give it to people that they deem less fortunate. Well, if you're already busting your ass, you went to school, you got a good job, you got your promotions, and all of a sudden your politicians say, yeah, I know you're scraping by, but we need to handle some other shit.
Yeah,
with
we need
your
to
money.
take more of your money. Yeah.
And I will never understand.
They're essentially playing
why
man.
Democrats
like literally, I swear, like all the crazy shit Alex Jones is talking about. I don't think he's that far off with what these fuckers are planning.
No, he's not. And it's weird to me. Like Democrats always want to do shit with other people's money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, they would never want to eat their own fucking money. You know, they're all
So, like,
redistribute your work for.
Right now, even if you hate Trump, even if you're like, yeah, fuck Trump, fuck him, fuck the department, fuck tax cuts, fuck what's going on at the border. When it comes down to you making a living and just existing, and the party that you're affiliated with, the Democratic Party, says, yeah, I need to take more of your money away from you to give it to people less fortunate. I don't care how much of a bleeding heart liberal you are, or how much you care about the children of the less fortunate. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to give.
That's counterproductive.
Nobody wants to take food off their table.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about people with loads of disposable income. I'm not talking about people with yachts or multiple cars. I'm talking about people making $120,000 a year. You know, got 2 kids that they got to take to school. They got to put in daycare. Daycare is like $4,000 a month.
Yeah,
depends on where
daycare's
you're at.
fucking outrageous, dude.
Yeah.
A shit ton of money. You know, that's so. If you're lucky enough, if you got a 2-parent household and both of them are bringing in ends, and you're lucky enough that both of you guys can bring in $8,000 a month, well, let's say you got 2 kids. All right, well, there goes $4,000 of that for daycare.
Yep.
Now, what about dance classes?
Mortgage.
Mortgage. So there goes another $4,000.
Yeah.
Mortgage. What you got? Nothing. You got nothing. Now you're gonna spend anywhere between $500 and $600 a month on food.
Oh yeah.
You know. So you really ain't got much to save. You know, we're talking about people bringing in $8,000 a month. Sounds like a lot of money, but it's bullshit when you got 2 kids. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and once again, it does really depend on where you're at and what you got to do with it. I mean, Portland, $8,000 a month is a lot of money compared to LA and San Francisco.
Yeah.
But most people ain't bringing in $8,000 a month out here. Most people are bringing in $2,000 a month.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people who are living the traditional nuclear family type lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
And I'm saying even in Portland, if you're making $8,000 a month, when after all your expenses and taxes and bullshit, you still only have disposable at the end of that, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000.
Oh yeah.
And that's for savings. You got to save that shit for your kids' college or your rainy day fund.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not. So they want to take money from those people.
Yeah, that's always where they want to take money from when they raise taxes, man. And when they raise the minimum wage, they take money from that group as well.
Yeah, it's the new slavery plan, man. What they want to fucking do is
they want to
break
bring in cheap
everyone
labor from Mexico and fucking Syria and other places and pawn those off, and then have the nerve to tell us that, you know, oh, we support the migrant community, we support our immigrants and shit. I'm like, what about fucking black people right here? Like, we're the ones that have to compete for jobs. We compete with the same type of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'll be dead honest with you. You know, what they want to do to the black people is the same thing they were doing back in the old days. You know, they want you guys on the same thought plantation. That's why they've got all sorts of black fucking propaganda going around about, you know, just be a fucking gangbanger, be a fucking shitbag, you know, worry about aesthetic nonsense, and kill everybody else that doesn't agree with you. They literally want you guys on a lockstep voting to where you guys have to thoroughly rely on the fucking government everything and not even scrape by and literally just keep voting for your own change. You know,
oh, how's this? Name me one, just one, long-term democratically held state or city that is doing prosperously.
Ooh,
I can't.
I don't think I can.
I can't.
You can't. Yeah. Like, New York is all smoke and mirrors. You know.
Yeah. Same with Chicago.
I just want to say, you know, one thing though. Well, actually, a few things really quick about the Democratic Party. I've known this a long time since I was a boy. Now, I come from the immigrant community. You know, my parents are both first generation. You know, my grandmother was actually like 8 months pregnant with the old man when she came through Ellis Island.
Mm-hmm.
You will never, ever. I mean, I make this bet with people constantly. I'll tell people, I'll give you $100 bill, like right now, put it in your hand. If you can name me one organized crime member from New York who's a Republican, good luck with that. They're all Democrats. Every single one of them. Every gangbanger, every mobster, every gangster, every boss. They're all Democrats.
Well,
every
that's
single
where the
one
money's
of them.
at.
Yeah.
That's where the money's at. I mean, they probably have conservative ideas and views, but they're going to get their money from Democratic politicians.
Oh, yeah. My father, may he rest in peace, he was Local 282, International Brotherhood of Teamsters. I grew up, I seen all of it. I myself, I got injured. This cane, I joke, this was my parting gift from New York State, my cane that I walk with. And I worked there for years in a Teamster shop, same union, 282, for the Democratic Party. And they are, holy shit, are they crooked. They would keep us at 36 hours a week, so they didn't have to pay us full time, and we wouldn't get full time benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked I asked one of the supervisors. I go, look, you know, my father is sick. I would like to get full time to get the benefits. What can I do? You know, I've been working for you guys now for over a decade. He says to me, he's like, you didn't hear this from me. You got to make a $5,000 cash donation to the Democratic Party of the state of New York. I go, you kidding me? He said, no, that's what you got to do.
Did it work?
I didn't give him anything.
Okay.
I ain't not getting a dime from me. They can go scratch their ass with both hands before they get money out of me.
I mean, you know, this world's corrupt. I mean, I might have played that one. I might have paid to play on that one.
Yeah. No, if anything, you know what it was? My father, I didn't tell him that they said that. If I really, really wanted this job, you know, he could have got it for me. But I was working at the landfill at the time, only because my father, you know, he was very old-fashioned, and he was giving me a hard time about, you know, like college, because he was Catholic, and his parents, you know, were from the old country. And I got to move over because they're setting off fireworks out there.
Good Lord, man, it's early.
Oh, my God. You didn't hear the other day because you weren't streaming with me. The guy around the corner was test firing his cannon for tomorrow.
All right. I like hearing that. Cannon fire, man.
Yeah, because a lot of people forget, you know, New York, they got a thing about guns out here, but they don't say shit about cannons. You know, yeah, it's a loophole.
Well, man, you know, my cannon don't have a serial number on it, so they can't exactly say shit about mine either, because...
Oh, these are all the ones from the Legion halls. These are all actual Revolutionary War cannons.
Yeah, I know. They don't have serial numbers on them.
The guys around here, you're actually authorized, because a lot of these guys are registered as New York State militia.
Yeah.
So they it was great. I'm on here the other night, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" They thought someone was in the house shooting a gun at me because of how loud it was. Because they're like, "Is that a mortar?" I said, "No, that's
what a 4-pounder?
Starburst rounds." Yeah, they were actually. He was firing Starburst rounds out of the thing because
Nice.
I've seen it. It's about the same diameter as a 50-gallon drum. It's huge.
Yeah.
It takes two people to feed the one person feeds it and stuffs it, and then the other guy fires it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a monster. It's what type is it? It's one of the ones off of the ships. It's got the Coke bottle design. It's the last design that they used before they started incorporating the breech loaders on the Navy boats.
Okay. I know which one you're talking about then.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of artillery equipment. And and literally the guy is one block over behind, like the neighbor across the street from me.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Sorry to derail that, but yeah, that's oh my god. You guys wait till tomorrow night what you're gonna see in the background. It's gonna be like daylight.
All right, excuse the kids upstairs, but I wanted to go back to the question of name one long-held Democratic state. Florida used to be Democratic held, and we did really well. We actually did. You did not have all these Florida man stories that you do now. Ever since our governor Rick Scott came in, he's been fucking Florida all up. Think about it this way: in Florida, our Democrats are the Republicans of the North. They're thieves instead of being, complete assholes and trying to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually trying to help Florida, whereas the Republicans here like to screw everybody.
Well, the Republicans in New York are the same way. They all like to steal, but I say this constantly. That's part of the reason I trust the Republicans more than I trust the Democrats, because if you want to steal from something, you have a vested interest in that thing succeeding, so you can keep ripping it off. The Democrats want to destroy the country. That's why I don't like the Democrats. I don't like the Republicans, but I trust them because if you kill off all the humans, the vampires got nothing to drink off of. So the vampires have an interest in keeping the humans alive. Ipso facto, the Republicans can be trusted because they need to bleed off the American people. That's why I trust them. The Democrats are just a bunch of evil bastards who want to turn this place into a Soviet Union-like with lattes. Yeah. It's a whole different animal. That's the thing. It's not that I like the Republicans. My God, no. I'm from New York. I am not into guns, NASCAR, and Jesus. Believe me. That's not me. Look, nothing against any of it.
What's wrong with guns?
Seriously, it's nothing against. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying that those are not my motivating factors in life. They never were. It's a whole different lifestyle here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like what you tell me about where you live, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds wild as fuck. I definitely want to check it out. Like the mountains and shit. Who wouldn't want to check that out? Like seriously, mountains by me are usually made out of trash. So.
Well, man, the problem is out here is you try to go out into the mountains and they're telling you you're not allowed to step foot off this path because you'll crush this rare purple, such and such flower that only grows in this valley. And, that means that not only can you not step off the path, but you can't hunt and you can't fish and you can't hike through here. And so.
Yeah, because you'll destroy nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Buddhists must be very comfortable there.
No, not really.
Well, I meant because part of the really extremist caste of Buddhists. The Maharana. I forget. I butchered the names of those poor people, but you know which ones I'm talking about. The guys who lock themselves away because they don't want to step on grass or a butterfly or nothing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's several temples of them in Oregon.
Yeah. Great people. They can really hook up some rice. My God, and they're naan bread. Oof.
Yeah.
Ugh. Come on. So let me ask you. Royga, how are things other than like what's going on with all these nut jobs in the street acting like loonies? I mean,
we still got it here. I mean, so Antifa doesn't come out unless we come out.
mm-hmm.
So they do have their own. In fact, they're doing an event tonight in San Francisco. I think it's like one of those border, things tonight in San Francisco. But I think if we're not there, then they're not going to come in mass. But we know all the players. There's a group called Refuse Fascism that puts on a lot of events, and they just pretty much walk around and march in the streets with a megaphone and say "fuck Trump." And it's really what they do is block traffic for an hour and a half, and that doesn't win them, any favor, any supporters. But California is always going to vote for a Democratic, candidate. I'm not worried about that. I mean, it is what it is, But little by little, the hearts and minds of people are starting to change. And I get it. I understand the reputation of the Republican Party. I understand the long-held assumptions and reputations of conservative people. But I also recognize that under their leadership and guise, and as long as they're not trying to be corrupt, we fare better, significantly better, with their in power.
Oh yeah, definitely. Believe me, I know.
So I had a conversation with my mom a couple weeks ago. We were on welfare when I was growing up, and my mother was telling me when she got off of it, and I asked her what happened, and she told me I got tired of playing the system, and I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I got tired of pretending to be poor, and that's what she had to do to get a check. So we couldn't have a phone, we couldn't have a nice car, we couldn't have any amenities, we weren't allowed to have cable, none of that. So she wasn't even she couldn't have a good job, she couldn't go to school, because if they found out she had anything, that they would consider a luxury, they would take money away from her.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there was a period of time that we needed food stamps, but she also wanted to one day not need food stamps.
Yeah.
But the system is set up in a way that they make it impossible for you to get out of it.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to have a man in the home. You can't go to school, because if they find out you're going to school, they were like, well, if you're going to school, you can work. So they won't even let you educate yourself to find a better job. And she just said, well, fuck it one day. She's like, that's it. This is bullshit. I'm tired of having to pretend I'm poor. I'm tired of playing the game. I'm tired of trying to hide my assets and shit. I want a decent job. I want to take care of my kids, but I can't do it under this. And she's like, fuck it, I'm done. But at the same time, I see what generations and generations of a welfare system has done to my community. I've seen what happens when children, and when I say children, I mean teenagers have kids at 14, 15, 16, before they're even 21, they got 3 kids, sometimes 4 kids. They're living off the state. They're getting free housing, subsidies, all sorts of shit. They don't have to work, and they have no desire to work, and they have no desire to teach work ethic to their children, because they were like, well, all you have to do is get knocked up and you get paid. So now we have generations upon generations of black families without fathers in the home, without discipline, without work ethic, without a sense of purpose, that will keep being this low class element that will always vote. Or even if they don't vote, they will always be there to support them. And I don't know anybody who's successful, who is self-made successful, that supports a Democrat. I don't know any.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we live in a state here in California. I live in a state where, they're being indoctrinated by university professors. They're being brought up and being told that socialism is the way to go. We need to take money from the millionaires and billionaires, because they're the ones who are really ruining our society. So if all we have to do is make sure that the rich people don't get rich anymore, and then we'll all be on the same playing field. And one, that's wrong. Secondly, it gives no incentive for people to do well.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. They're under those ideologies, you get to blame your lack of success and your lack of gumption or anything on anyone else. So what do? We blame white people. White people are the problem. You know, white people are the patriarchy, white supremacy. That's why I didn't get ahead. Or we blame millionaires and billionaires. Oh, it's because of the tech countries. Oh, it's because of gentrification. Oh, white people moved into the city and I couldn't have. Then the rents went up, so I couldn't live there anymore. It's white people's problem. You know, so and I see some similar things on the right. You know, I've occasionally heard people blame immigrants for like this and that, and you know, and that's just human nature. But when you indoctrinate, especially at the university level, and you tell everybody that everything that's wrong with this country is the fault of, I guess, the quote unquote ruling class, well, then they adopt to reject it and vilify it. And they keep thinking, well, if I find a way to tear this down, or even if I can't tear it down, I can tear it down at least this person, or I can protest this thing, or I can firebomb this building, or I can assassinate this guy. You know, it builds up to a point, and they think that, well, if we just take their money away and we distribute it equally, then everything will be fine. And I'm like, well, even if you waved a magic wand and that happened, and look, okay, now everyone's got $100,000 now. Well, you have to spend that money.
Yep.
So where are you gonna spend it? You're gonna spend it, you know, where you get your buck. So now somebody's got all the money again.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're still gonna have rich people.
I like to point out to them when they bitch about it. I had a talk with a communist in the spring, and I was talking, nice young man, nice enough, and you know, that's the thing that's a little disarming now is when you talk to these people, specifically like the ones you're talking about who have been indoctrinated in the universities, and obviously, I'm sure you've heard about the news about my latest addition to the Senate that my state just got, the card-carrying socialist. She just got elected, so you know, it's very open here. It's actually like I was talking to another young man, and I said something to him, and he goes like this to me: "My God, you're talking about pure capitalism," and he actually recoiled and backed away from me, like I was talking about something evil. So I was talking to this young man, and I had said to him, oh Christ, what was I talking to him about? It was actually he said something to me. I couldn't fathom like the way that they think, and oh Christ, I can't believe I forgot the point I was getting at with what this young man had said to me. God, this is embarrassing. But it just the way that they think about with the distribution of money. Now they have this thing where they think that people who have money, like you're saying, like the 1%, that they just sit on that money. And I said to him, I said, I don't think that they keep their assets frozen. Most of these people, the reason they got to that level is because they know how to invest. Most of them usually keep their money liquid. It's just the residuals come in at such a rate that they always happen to have money on hand. They can't invest it fast enough. And his response was, well, then you should take it from them anyway. My thinking to him is, if they are doing transactions and they're good at what they're doing, then they're actually fueling our economy. Why would I want to take the money away from somebody who is competent with what they're doing? Because at that point, it's not like they're spending all the money on themselves. They can't. It's not physically possible.
Right.
So they're basically like a capacitor for the economy. Now, what they're doing is they're like a bellows, and they are just fanning the flames of our economy by their own investing. If you take out somebody like that who's a linchpin, it's going to affect all of our wallets. So the redistribution of wealth just on its face is stupid because you have a lot of these people who just have a natural knack. If you let's take the NBA for example. I'm a Knicks fan, obviously.
Oh yeah. Like I can't guess that one. Like I can't guess that one.
Right. If we start doing the thing where we do the law of averages across the board in basketball, the game's going to start to suck. You're not going to have any alley-oops. You're not going to have any fadeaway jumpers. You're not going to have any hooks. You're not going to have anyone taking it downtown. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to have generic basketball like you first seen when the sport started, you know, back in the 30s. You know,
right.
It's the same thing with our economy. If you even it across the board, it's going to affect the overall economy horribly. It's people don't realize what they're going to do if we're going to take the money away from the 1%. The 1% drive our economy because they happen to be like savants with money. You want to leave somebody like that there because look, like I said, there's only so many sets of fucking platinums, like cutlery you can buy, and only so much of this. Really, at one point, the money is just going to keep going back into the economy, which is what a lot of them do. They don't just sit on the money, so that's like a falsehood. Yeah. It's just, it's just to me, it's the stupidest thing on the face on the face of it.
Well, another one that they do, Scoob, is that they make it sound like just because let's say all of us were in a room. I have $100. You have $20. He has $30. According to them, the reason I have $100 is because I stole from you and stole from him.
Yeah.
Because we all must have been around $30 sitting there.
Or worse, you only got it because because of your privilege.
Yeah. Or I only got it because of my privilege. Never mind, I created something and both of you wanted it.
Yeah.
And so you exchanged money for that good from me. God forbid that's what happened, And in turn, I'm going to then take that money you gave me and I'm going to buy more stuff to make more products to sell it to somebody else. They don't see how that actually works.
No.
And I honestly blame a lot of that on some of our government and how permit happy they've become. Because like here in Oregon, you can't sell blueberry pies if you have a blueberry farm unless you've got a special separate license, separate from the farm. And you go through a special type of kitchen setup and an inspection every year. And it's like, this is a pie. We're not talking about nuclear fuel here. We're talking about a freaking blueberry pie.
Yeah.
But you got to spend $20,000 to sell blueberry pies.
That's a little extreme for a place like Portland.
I know, man.
I understand that out here by me because, it's just, it makes things a lot more orderly, because you have millions of people and I hate saying it. We're at the point where you need a certain level of bureaucracy in a place like Manhattan just because of how small it is and how much volume you have and things like that. But that doesn't excuse to put that sort of a model into effect in a place that's basically the equivalent of a seaside community or like a sleepy bed and breakfast community, really. Portland has that sort of a vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? It's not as hustle and bustle like New York.
It's bigger than you think, man.
No, I'm not saying it's small. I'm just saying it's the tempo and the pace. Everyone I've talked to, they tell me they said it's like a New England town, but a city. Like the vibe is like a New England town. Like the atmosphere is very laid back and relaxed. They said it's not as laid back as like San Francisco, where you got to hold a mirror under somebody's nose. They said, but it's like a little bit. It's more moderate. They said, but to me, I don't see why the hell you want to bootstrap people that chill. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and I get where you're going with that, man, but that's the way it works here. I mean, seriously, everything here is so to run lifts to the airport. I have to have a business license from the city of Portland. I have to be registered with Lyft. I have to maintain my own insurance coverage, plus Lyft's insurance coverage, plus a separate insurance coverage that the city dictates I carry. I have to file city income taxes because I'm a small business owner.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Again, it's just it's Portland.
And I have to pay transportation taxes for the train, for the MAX train, off my income.
Again, I could see it somewhere like here or Los Angeles where you have numbers and volume, but a place like Portland or a place like, let's say, Toledo, Ohio, to give you another like city example, that's an urban area, but it's just not as like monolithic. My God, that's just to me, this is an abuse of power, and they're just subjugating you for money. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, shoot, man, they just raised the gas tax on us for crying out loud. Do you know what it costs to buy?
Dude, they raised it 50 cents here in California.
Oh yeah. You know what we're paying
under a Democratic governor.
Oh yeah, you know what we're paying in downtown Portland for gas for a single gallon?
What?
$3.50.
Oh,
is that all?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's it. Oh, I'd be happy with $3.50.
Well, you got to realize it was $2.20 before they raised the gas tax.
I'll call you when we get back under 4.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Dude, maybe I need to go to Portland. Shit.
Don't bother, man, because you're going to make a lot less money. That's part of the reason why you make so much money down there is because you can't afford to live if you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, they raised the gas tax, and you know what they're doing with it? They're talking about building a new bike path.
Oh God.
Yeah, and they're wanting to toll the interstates to pay for the potholes on the interstates. But they just raised the gas taxes insanely.
These people don't know how to fucking plan. They know nothing about infrastructure or planning.
Dude, our city's been on a road diet for the past 10 years. There are now sections of, that street that I'm on that you saw from the video, that's McAdam. Those sidewalks on McAdam, I can stand in the sidewalk, stretch my arms out to both sides, which is over 6 feet wide, and I don't touch the ends of the sidewalks.
Wow.
But it's one lane each direction through there. And there's bike lanes too. And I'm like, why do we have sidewalks this wide? And we have no traffic lanes. You can't drive through downtown Portland on a Timbers game match and get anywhere in less than an hour.
That's ridiculous.
I'll be driving people downtown and I'll be like, oh shit, we got a Timbers game today. And I will reroute around downtown using side roads. And I'll get them there faster than if I had tried to drive through downtown, which is a straight line route, by 20, 30 minutes, mind you. Not 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes. Because it's just gridlock.
That's good. Like I said, they don't know how to run anything. This is what happens when Democrats run shit. I think I tell you what my brother-in-law, when he ran for New York State Assembly last fall, and I'm looking at the platform that this putz is running on, and he was going to remove, because people were complaining about how because it's a rich neighborhood, they were complaining about they didn't like having to pay for the parking meters. So rather than just adjust the times, which would have been smart, this guy just was going to remove all the parking meters altogether. And I said to him, I said, you know, they're digital, right? He goes, yeah. I said, you do realize, I said, you can adjust them so that they have different days that they operate at different hours. I said, it could alleviate it. I said, because you realize you're going to, 1, remove a source of revenue, and 2, it's going to take revenue to remove all of those things. I said, you're actually going to create a massive amount of debt initiating this plan.
Well, not only that, but he's going to then hurt the local economy as well, because people will then park where those meters were and not move their vehicle. And part of the reason for having the meters is to move vehicles out of that parking area to allow other people to come in and interact with commerce.
That was the third point that I initiated to him.
Yeah.
And, well, naturally, he's a Democrat, so you can imagine how all of this went over when I pointed it out to him.
Hey, guys, I hate to do this, but I got to go.
All right, not a problem, man. Thank you for joining us, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll pick this up another time.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
And I'm gonna tag you in this when we're done, and I save it again.
He's already gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tag him anyway, and it's so that people can find his chat with us on this broadcast. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he was actually really neat. So, Scoob, what you got going on over by you, man? Because I've already covered the craziness over here.
It's actually been all quiet on the Western Front. You know what it is? I guess they postponed the revolution because they got thrown a curve. When they lost, when they lost, what the hell was his name? Coyle? Oh God, what was that Irishman's name who just got defeated? Well, whatever his name was, when he got ousted by this new one, I can't even remember her name. It's a hyphenated Spanish name, like two of them.
Yeah.
They basically, it's been really quiet around here because they're in a tailspin, the local state, because I guess they didn't want to lose seats to the progressives, and now that they got a progressive in there, they're panicking because Cuomo is not a progressive, and Schumer is not a progressive, and what's her face, Gillibrand is, and Nixon is. So the party just got split down the middle over this, and it took everyone by surprise. And so Cynthia Nixon has been mobilizing like crazy since this girl got elected. And what's her face? Gillibrand has been she's been doing the whole whistle stop thing all over the state. So that's pretty much what's been going on over here. Schumer and his crew have been licking their wounds. As for what's been going on out in the streets, I'm actually concerned. Did you hear about the thing I posted up in my Discord earlier? They actually they issued something, and it's one of those fucking sneaky Pete's. These bastards. They initiated this thing, and what it is, it's oh yeah, we found evidence of Russian collusion. Here's the short form. We'll give you the long form in possibly 18 to 36 months. They did one of those.
So what was the short form?
Oh, we have evidence of Russian collusion. Trump did this, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. Where's the evidence? Well, there's no evidence here, but this is what we have proof of. And they released it today, the day before the 4th of July. So, naturally, if anything is going to go down around here, it's probably going to happen now tomorrow because these assholes did this.
Yep.
Now, you can't tell me it's not contrived.
Well, I'm not hugely surprised. So I don't know if you caught my Regulatory Tuesday this morning, but the new ban in Seattle went into effect July 1st. So no more plastic straws, no more plastic silverware, no more plastic serving utensils, no more toothpicks that are made out of plastic, or serving picks, or mini serving forks made out of plastic. All of them have to be compostable.
Good. Good for them. Good for them. Let them see. Let's see now. July 1st. I wonder, let me see, when does this fiscal quarter close?
Fiscal quarter closes at the end of September. It's July, August, September.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So let's see what the numbers read come October.
Well, and Portland is now talking about following suit and banning all. Well, here's what's funny, man. It includes soda straws at like fast food restaurants. So like San Francisco did this like 6 months ago, and they've gone back to paper straws.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, you can take a metal straw with you, but who freaking takes a metal straw with them to McDonald's? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, my question is this now. I mean, this could be a bit of a good thing, because if the biodegradable things are all made in the USA.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna make biodegradable plastic utensils in the USA. I'm betting.
Hey, I'm looking for that silver lining. Come on.
I'm betting they come out of China, man. But if they do, that would be nice, because then we quit buying all that cheap Chinese plastic. But the thing is, man, so do you know how much plastic gets exported to China from the United States every year?
No idea.
Millions of tons. So if we're not buying their recycled plastic silverware, why would they buy our scrap plastic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a two-way street. These idiots.
Yeah. So I don't think they've thought about that already. And a lot of our plastic that gets scrapped isn't just disposable silverware and straws. It's also plastic drinking cups, plastic plates, all sorts of plastic bottles from sodas, containers.
You just made me think of something. What if this actually, they did think of it, and part of the reason that it went into effect now is because they're trying to undermine Trump's trade war?
I don't know. That might be a stretch.
It does sound like a bit of a Hail Mary, but I would see it as it is a possibility. You know, we are, look, it's hubris on our part to think that the Democrats are completely stupid. There has to be a few of them that are intelligent, and this does sound like. Yeah, so this does sound like an intelligent play if you're trying to, one, galvanize your voter base under the fact that you're doing an environmental thing when that's part of your platform, and two, it allows you to undermine the commander-in-chief's tariff war with China by, like what you just said. Now, because the plastics, this is something that it's a different thing. It's his tariffs on steel and his tariffs on other metals. This is completely outside of that. So he doesn't have bargaining leverage with this because it's not something that's part of that mandate. It's an external thing that can be used to twist the screws. This could actually be a cunning ploy on the part of the Democrats.
I'm not going to give them that much credit just yet. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we've got a bunch of crazy eco-terrorists out here on the Pacific Northwest. I mean, there are still people that spike trees for logging projects.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. What better place to do something like this? Bit of a Trojan horse. Because even the constituents wouldn't even see it. No one's going to see something like that. It's just, I don't know. I see deviant behavior on their part constantly. I always look for, like, what are they doing? You know, I constantly see all the Democrats as being hand wringers, you know, sitting there scheming. Like, what can I do next to get over on the American people? So I just see everything as, like, having something else to it with them. So
I can see where you're going with that, but yeah, it always makes me nervous to try to overestimate my opponent too. I mean, that I've always said, don't contribute to maliciousness or malignancy what you can attribute to stupidity. I
agree, but believe me, I worked for them for over a decade, and I'm attributing it to maliciousness and malignancy because oh my God, I've seen it firsthand. Repulsive how these people are. You know? Oh, you want that for your house? Just take it and bang it. Put a dent in it. That way we can put it, you know, wreck it out. Seriously, that's how it is. Oh, okay, there's a dent or a ding in the thing. Okay, it's put down as damaged goods. It's wasted out. Okay, we put it down as marked as destroyed. Okay, you can have it. Unbelievable.
That's ridiculous, man.
You want to know how ridiculous it is? The way it worked at the way it's unbelievable the way that it works at certain places. Like some of the guys at the landfill would actually have stucco buckets hidden, and what they would do is they would go with magnets and rakes, and they'd go and they'd sift through the trash with the copper that got burned up in the incinerator, because it would come out as it looked like big pieces of mint chocolate chip ice cream, and it was pure copper. And these guys would fill these like 10-gallon stucco buckets, like they'd have two of them on a broom handle, and they'd be walking like a Sherpa up on the fucking hills, and they would fill them with copper, and they'd go and they'd scrap it, you know, and it's pure copper. And these guys were getting hundreds of dollars, you know, doing this shit every day. Yep. And the reason they were doing this is because they're doing this with rakes, but you know, when everyone got like shipped out of the yard, you know, on the lunch hour, the boss was going through with a friggin' backhoe. So it's so naked here. It is beyond. It strikes beyond the pale. If you got to come out here one day, and I'll take you with, and they'll just, if anyone sees you, all I got to do is say, this is my buddy, he's in the steam fitters union out over in San Francisco, and they'll look at you and they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. They'll think you're a Democrat the minute I say you're in the Steam Fitters Union, and they'll see the beard too. They'll think you're, no offense, they'll just see the beard because everyone sees beards and attributes it to soy boys around here. Like, seriously.
So you
seriously.
You guys don't have any manly men that wear their beards long and their hair short, and
No, and I'll tell you why, because they don't want their beard to get caught in the machine. Everyone here, everyone I know actually works hard, their laborers, so they have to keep their shit short. If they have a beard, they got to keep it at maybe a 1 or a 2 clip, because any longer you run the risk of it getting pulled into the gears.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the guys I know who are like cops, like the ones who are professionals, like ex-servicemen, like all the guys who I know who are bikers. Oh yeah, they got they got shit that looks like the king in the beginning of The Hobbit. Like the fucking layers and the braids and shit. Seriously, a lot of my friends who I know who are cops and servicemen, they have like you with the big thick beard, but. A lot of the guys who are laborers, they got to keep it short. Except in the winter, you'll see a lot of guys will grow it out, but they're doing it at risk. Because if it gets too long, it can get caught. I know a guy, he has a strip missing off the side of his face like a piece of bacon because it got peeled off when he was working. It happens.
Yep. Yeah, man, with as many people as we have die in industrial accidents every year, I know we get plenty of injuries too.
Yeah, but a lot of guys around here, that's the thing. If you have like a really epic beard, that means you're not working someplace where it's going to get burned off and caught in the machine. So they just immediately assume you're a soy boy.
Finally, silence from children.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go, hun. So it looks like we've talked our way right past any ability to have any Florida man stories, because it's already 8:41 out on the Pacific Coast, which means it's getting close to midnight.
Yep, it's 11:41 here. Where'd Burnside go?
He dropped off mysteriously. I think he had ROM-fi issues.
Oh no, guaranteed it was a supervisor.
Could be a supervisor, yeah.
And Cass said earlier he had family over. So
yeah. I actually wanted to talk more with that other guy, but I had to take my roommate to work. She's training for doing overnights.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
yeah, she's gonna get paid more, and she'll be able to, afford her rent, childcare, shit like that, without the help of the cunt, which is her mother.
Don't sugarcoat it. Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I hate this bitch.
I can tell. Oh man.
Anytime this woman comes over, we have to clean this house to hospital sterility levels. The woman doesn't even know I'm staying here. Because if she knew, she'd throw a fit and apparently try and take the kid. And I'm like, Florida's not going to let that happen. Florida's going to be like, the kid has his own room. You have your own room. You're trying to find a bigger place. Yeah, we don't really have a problem with that.
What is she, like a weirdo?
Try Stepford wife, but she's in control. I mean, any time it's talk of this woman coming over, my roommate wigs the fuck out, stresses out, and we have to clean everything spotless.
That sucks.
Yeah. I have totes under my sewing table that are, it's nice, tidy, they're put away. We have to put them behind the fucking TV in the little nook underneath the stairs because her mom will have something to say. Well, tell her to shut the fuck up.
Oh, her mother's got a thing about clutter, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so she's like my mother. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. I remember part of the reason I went up in summer school in 12th grade was I was working full time and I would lay out my homework so I could do it in the morning before I went to school. And she would come down and she could not have clutter on her table. So she would put away everything I had laid out so I could have it all ready to go the next day. And I'd wake up and then I have to rush and like go and look, and I was nervous and I'd freak out. I remember he'd always grab me and smack the shit out of me for raising my voice about it. So I wound up having to go to summer school because of that. And like a lot of people, they couldn't understand it. Like, I thought you were like a 4.0 student. I said, yeah, it's just my mother, because I started working, I couldn't lay anything out. She said, well, it's clutter, but I'm trying to go and work because you won't let me get anything. You won't help me with anything. You want me to work for it. And I'm trying to work and like get ahead and go into a good college. Well, it's clutter. And I wound up going to summer school because I heard that fucking clutter. So
yeah, see, yeah. If this were my mother, which my mom didn't have anything against clutter. She knew I was organized, unorganized. I'm unorganized, but I know where everything is. So and with her mom, I'm like, you don't have to let them in the house, and she's like, yes, I do. It's my family. I'm like, no, you don't. Your name's on the lease. Theirs isn't.
Sorry for being away, guys. My father called me, so I had to go see how he was doing and what have you. Looks like we're gonna have the 4th over by him.
Cool. Good to know that you're gonna have some chance to enjoy fireworks, man. It turns out Portland has changed its laws on fireworks. They can't now go 4 feet in the air.
Oh my God.
Oh, fake. Yeah, no, out in the redneck lands, they really don't care. So we're gonna have an old-fashioned fucking mead fucking Viking fest over there.
Oh, dude. I wish I'd known. I've got some cherrywood smoked malt mead.
You want
I'm just curious. Why don't we'll discuss it off air?
I was gonna say, do you know? You guys heard all the shit that was getting launched by me. That even sparklers are illegal over here.
Really?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Everything you heard was contraband.
Oh man.
They don't care. They just don't give a fucker. I mean, the cops care, but the locals, they don't give a shit. Do you know how often you'll go and you'll see somebody and like a cop will roll up and somebody will walk over, they'll have a beer can in their one hand and they'll have a cigarette hanging out their mouth and they'll like give the cop a look of contempt and they'll like show them, they'll reach into their shirt and they'll whip out the gold badge and they'll point at the cop and they'll throw their thumb over their shoulder like, get the fuck out of here.
Nice.
Oh, constantly. That's the thing. You'll see people out with like mortar tubes all up and down the street, and a lot of these guys are NYPD, and that's their house. Nice. So, yeah, no one cares. The cops. You actually feel bad for the local PD because it's so frustrating for them because there are certain people who are the quote unquote law-abiding citizens calling up. Oh, they're setting off fireworks, and then the cops show up, and sure enough, it's a fucking detective who works homicide up in the Bronx, and he's like giving them a look like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, we kind of have the same thing in Hegwish. Pretty much the CPD just lets everyone do it because they're like, yeah, we know we're right next door to Hammond and everyone's going to go there or Munster or wherever for their fireworks. But every fucking CAPS meeting a month or month before, the old people get there and bitch about their cats, their dogs, their pet raccoons, by the fireworks and that. And like everyone starts rattling, and I'm the one who tries to shout out everyone and go, "You live right next to Indiana, and we're celebrating our independence. What do you expect?" And the cops are like, "Well, and they try to grammatically get their way out of it. But unless you're really causing too much trouble, they really don't give you any shit for it because they're like, they know we're so close that it's gonna happen regardless. So they like, kind of turn a blind eye until you really harangue them for it."
I see sometimes, like, you're gonna see there's one guy around here. He launches 36-inch mortars.
Cool.
Do you know how big a 36-inch mortar is?
That's huge.
Yes, that's what I'm saying to you. You gotta see when he does this, the whole sky turns like red or blue or green, depending what color it is. The thing that he launches, it's the same exact ones that they use in the city for the Statue of Liberty for the 4th. This guy gets he gets some of those shells. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll see guys, they're like, you have to have like the electronic triggers to launch this shit. You can't just sit there with a cigarette lighting it.
Oh yeah, I knew a few people in Nashville that did professional pyrotechnics. some of the stuff they made was gorgeous, but yeah, I can't believe somebody's doing that out of their backyard, man. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh yeah,
shit's
you'll
risky.
see. You'll see. I'm gonna start filming. I might even just live stream tomorrow with my wife's phone, just to show everybody how insane it's gonna be once the sun sets.
Oh man.
Oh, you got to see it. Yeah. I'm going to go out to probably like over by the local high school or some other field where there's a clearing and you get a good view. Like my wife's friend, she had moved away years ago to Toms River, New Jersey, and she had forgotten how insane the fireworks were here. And when she came home, she was like terrified. She's like, I thought these were illegal. How are you able to get all these? And, you know, that's when this one guy started launching off those huge shells and, you know, like the car alarms are going off and everything. And I said, honey, it's New York. We can get anything here because it's an island. They just show up by boat, you know, and that is the truth. That really is the truth of it because, you know, you'll hear like there is some guy in the neighborhood. I don't know who the hell he is, but he has one of those street sweeper shotguns. And you'll hear him shoot. He loads the thing with flares, and you'll see him every year. He shoots the flares off like on the 4th, and it's great. You hear, you know, like bang, 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 and all you see are these flares shooting off in the air. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
God, I'll have to see if I myself can get one of those because that sounds like right up my fucking alley.
Well, man, you know, you can. I was gonna say, man, in most states you can buy a Sega 12, which is the magazine-fed, you know, street sweeping shotgun.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. He has one of them. And I said, you know, because somebody said to me, they're like, "Isn't that cool?" I'm like, "Well, it's a good thing he's using the red ones because I think if he was using the white flares, I think the phosphorus would actually like melt. The gun might actually like burn his hands." So yeah, it's actually really. I said it's kind of stupid that he's doing that because, you know, flares. They tend to get hot.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about him getting burned from it yet, though, so he must know what he's doing.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll take video of our fireworks stuff. I have my Pikachu phone charger, and I have another phone charger that's that you can actually plug into the wall instead of putting fucking batteries in it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good by me because where I live is a hot spot with a lot of like athletes, a lot of celebrities, and a lot of fucking gangsters and drug dealers. So everyone's trying to show off like, oh yeah, I can get the most illegal shit. Watch, come over and see what I got. So tomorrow I get to sit here and get a really good show for free.
Well, I'm going to be in pretty much Redneckville, so you guys are going to enjoy that.
Yeah, that's going to be cool because you're going to have people with homemade shit over by you. You know?
No, not normally. So usually it's you hear shotguns go off or they go and buy them. Most of the time when they like go out of state or have friends out of state come in state, they have them stop off in North Carolina or South Carolina and bring over the stuff that's illegal here.
Or stop in Tennessee, hon, because they make a whole bunch of stuff in Tennessee too.
You know, I got to ask my brother-in-law because I don't know which Supreme Court judge he was, but I was at the 4th of July at his brother's house, my brother-in-law's brother's house, probably about 20 years ago. And there was one of the guests there was a Supreme Court judge because I wound up talking to him because for whatever reason he was having a conversation with my father. And I only mention this because I want you to give you an idea. I'm not trying to be like a big, you know, like I'm bragging or whatever, but I'm saying when I was younger, like some of the parties that I went to around here, I mean, my God, the opulence. Like they're sitting there, they got a fucking shark on a spit. Think about that. You have a shark on a spit. Like the guy's just carving off the mako flanks. Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. This was my Arab brother-in-law's family. So I used to spend the 4th of July with Arabs. That's why I used to get really annoyed when people like would sit there and talk shit. I'm like, really? Because the most patriotic barbecues I ever was at was, you know, the guy was Jordanian. So I want to check you know. But it was really it was a surreal experience. But I'm just saying, in that neighborhood, it was the same neighborhood the Baldwins are from. So you'd see shit of that like caliber, like almost like a Beverly Hills level of just the fireworks that they would bring in. And like some of them, like I was there the one year and he actually had a barge like they have at the Statue of Liberty. He had a barge out there full of all the fireworks.
Cool.
Like, think about that. Yeah, because his house was right on the water. He actually had a beach house. So we all went, like we're in the backyard, and you walk 5 feet, there's the friggin' bay, and there's a barge full of fireworks. So tomorrow, what you're going to see when I'm filming, you got to understand, my neighborhood where I live, these were just like relatives of, this was my brother-in-law's brother. Where I live, I get a great view of all this, but no one has money like that. But you're going to see, like, at least maybe 50 or more professional grade fireworks show tomorrow, easily. And maybe a couple dozen more that are nearly professional grade, because it's people who will just spend upwards of $100,000 tomorrow on fireworks easily.
Oh yeah,
Lord.
Yeah, they got money like that. That's what I'm trying to drive at. Like tomorrow, you're going to see, like, these are some of the richest people on the planet. You're going to see how they celebrate Independence Day tomorrow, and it's going to be wild to watch.
Man, I hope I'm sober enough for it, man. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm going to live stream it. I'm going to walk around and just try to film as much as I can.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
good, good. Well, guys, let's go ahead and shill this out real quick because we just got about 4 minutes. So, Tara, if you want to start.
I'm Tara Sin. You can find me on pretty much any social media. I do have my own YouTube channel. Please give me money because I still need a sewing machine. I'm still $124 away.
She's got to make me them goddamn jammies somehow.
And the assless chaps, right?
Chaps.
Oh, I'm also making, a gag ball and gimp mask for him.
Oh, nice.
No. Not dick, but I think I'd rather buy those just to be sure.
All right, so Burnside.
All right, well, I'm not being a deranged lecher, as you can see here, or working myself to death and all that other fun shit. You can find me on YouTube, BitChute, Twitter, Gab.ai, and yes, I will give it, when I get the stupid ROG top back, I will finish up the rest of my Imperium of Mankind stuff, as well as Backline. Backline will be on BitChute, and it'll probably the 5 and 6 will be the last ones we'll put on YouTube because they keep fucking with us for literal stupid content strikes, even though we put the credits in for the music and that. But pretty much everywhere except for Redbubble, which is where all my flags and such are at, and Twitter, which is where, for the time being, I'm doing Jack All Nothing. I'm the Burnside Film Project on Twitter. I'm Burnside_bums. This group I'm part of here in Chicago. And then for Redbubble, it's Burnside Film, since I can put the whole thing in there. Or just look up Reckless Flaggatry, and you'll be able to find all the stuff I've been working on as of lately. That will get finished once the nerds get me my goddamn computer thing back to me, the fucking bastards.
All right, Scoob, what you got?
Well, you guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You can follow me here on YouTube. I'm on Minds.com, Gab.ai, Patreon, and PayPal. And I am currently still in limited state on Twitter.
Hashtag
and as for what I got to shill, yep, thank you. And as for what I got to shill, you guys should know by now, I just covered the video I'm doing. Tomorrow's the 4th. I'm going to be filming the insanity that goes on down here during the 4th of July. So tune in. I might even do it as a live stream. So we got to see.
All right. Well, and you all know me by now, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here on my channel. I am the Veteran Mountain Man. I am actually currently talking with one of the people in the chat about getting together and going and do some more Antifa shooting tomorrow. That is video shooting, not judicious.
Not the fun kind.
Not the type I'd prefer, but definitely going to get the camera out still. And of course, you can always catch me on BitChute, Coffee, MakerSupport, Patreon, Minds, Gab, Twitter, and maybe on occasion on the city streets of Portland as I'm wandering around these last few months. until I leave. You know, I'll be available, but you got to get me. You got to keep it a secret as to who I am. And good night, everyone, and have yourselves a great 4th of July tomorrow.
Happy Independence Day, America.